Michael Bisping, in his latest YouTube video, pushed back on the simple idea that Khamzat versus DDP is just about cardio. Sure, most of the MMA world sees it that way. If Chimaev can't finish Dricus in the first 2 rounds, the South African's pace and pressure will take over. Bisping agrees that cardio is a massive factor here, but he added another layer. He pointed out that once you become champion, the game changes. Suddenly you're flooded with endorsement deals, sponsorship obligations, appearances, media, all kinds of things pulling your attention away from the grind. Some champions handle it, while others lose that razor-sharp focus. If DDP hasn't locked in that balance yet, it could be the opening Khamzat needs, though DDP has been dialed in. On the flip side, Chimaev is out in California at Training Lab, a camp famous for turning fighters into cardio machines, which tells us he's fully aware of the gas tank questions and is doing everything to fix them. DDP, on the other hand, has been in deep waters, gone all 5 rounds, and thrived. This fight might start as a battle of conditioning, but the real decider could be who keeps their head in the game when the lights, the belt, and the fame all hit at once.
Dricus is going to fight him hard from the opening bell. He's going to put him on his back foot. He's going to force him to engage in a very grueling affair. So if Khamzat Chimaev hasn't done all the necessary training, then Dricus du Plessis will remain the champion. Ultimately, in this fight, it comes down to how badly do you want it? Have you turned down other opportunities because you want to be training? Or are you trying to maximize your time as the champion? Not saying Dricus is, but like, you know, all of a sudden you got people coming to you, you got Johnny come lately friends, you got endorsement deals, you've got appearances that you can do because you want to make money. Or are you single-minded? Are you locked in? Do you say no to everything because I have one mission, and that is to win this fight? If Khamzat Chimaev hasn't really done it, if he hasn't pushed himself to the absolute limit, then he's going to be exposed. However, mental toughness does come into this, because sometimes when you are so tired, you can always find that next level. Because I've done it myself. I was tired in every single one of my fights.
During their podcast, Gilbert Burns and Renato Moicano weighed in on possible opponents for Khamzat Chimaev if he claims the championship next week. Middleweight division just doesn't have many big-name fighters ready to step up, except one clear standout, Paulo Costa. The tension between Khamzat and Costa goes way back, fueled by a heated altercation years ago, and their rivalry flared up again recently after Costa's dominant win over Kopylov. Right now, Costa is expected to get a rematch against Israel Adesanya, though nothing's official yet. Burns and Moicano believe if Paulo beats Adesanya, he's absolutely next in line for the title shot. The fight between Costa and Chimaev was supposed to happen years ago, but fell through after Costa pulled out. Burns feels that fighters like Imavov and Borralho don't bring the same star power or personality that makes for a blockbuster matchup, so for Khamzat, Costa remains the biggest name and the most intriguing potential challenger in the division right now, but he needs to get another victory first. Let's dive into what the Brazilians had to say.
I mean, Khamzat's...
If he becomes a champion, who is next? Is it clear? Caio, Borralho, and that guy?
The winner of
RDR.
But we talk about it. If the fight is... If this fight, Caio and Imavov is like not interesting, is like...
yeah, if it doesn't deliver, it's going to be RDR.
For sure. If Costa goes out there and beats Adesanya, oh, he's next, bro.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Right.
100%.
They don't care if Adesanya...
If he beat Adesanya...
And especially convincingly, if go there and get a knockout, oh my God, he's fighting for the title for sure. And that's why he should be looking, because Imavov, Caio, Borralho doesn't have that star power. RDR doesn't have that star power. But the only thing Costa need to be fighting. If he fights freaking Adesanya right now, he's next. But he gotta fight. These guys are not the one that takes the big breaks between fights.
Tomorrow, we can officially say it's Khamzat Chimaev Fight Week, the final, most intense week leading up to UFC 319. This is when fighters face their toughest weight cuts, and the real countdown begins as they start traveling to the fight city. Khamzat, who was training with Coach Sam in California just yesterday, was expected to fly over to Chicago this morning to kick off his fight week. This past week, there were rumors going around that Ilia Topuria would visit Khamzat during this crucial week, and now UFC 319 backup fighter Caio Borralho has confirmed that he actually ran into Ilia and his brother Alexandre. Both Topuria and Chimaev made their UFC debuts back in 2020, and they've known each other for years from training together at All-Star Gym in Sweden. The two have made headlines with their intense sparring sessions. Catch the full stories on our channel, links available in the description. Even though Ilia likely won't be in Khamzat's corner during the fight. He'll be there to support him throughout the tough weight cut process. Caio shared the full story of that unexpected run-in with the lightweight champ. Let's dive in.
Yes, I went there. The guys were training there in the UFC gym here around the corner on the hotel. It was a good interaction. You know, Ilia is a very great guy, and I'm a big fan of him. You know, his style. He's the nicest guy. You know, very kind. He talked with everybody. You know, talked with us. He very kind guy. I gave him fighting air glasses, you know, and he wears it and took photos with it. So I think it's because of his energy and all that he's a great champ, and he's still in. That's why he's on the top of the sport, you know, because his environment and people that surround him and all that. I think it's a good environment. I got to see today their fight, their training. Both were training there, and I see a lot of people around the cage from their team and helping and doing this and that. I think that's a environment that really make people's champ, and that's why he's the champ, you know.
In his latest Submission Radio appearance, MMA analyst Luke Thomas dropped some intriguing takes on UFC 319. First up, he said he wouldn't be surprised if the Khamzat Chimaev Dricus du Plessis fight ends up being a bit boring. Yeah, you heard that right. It sounds wild because honestly, how could a fight between those two not deliver fireworks? Still, Luke insists he's just trying to keep it real and not get caught up in hype. At the same time, he admitted the matchup absolutely has the potential to be an absolute banger. When it comes to who the UFC would prefer as champion, Luke tackled some of the chatter in the MMA community about Khamzat being a bad champion because of his frequent health setbacks and travel complications. But Luke points out it's really about who the UFC can build their brand around and who has more star power. He acknowledges that Dricus' stock would blow up if he beat Khamzat, but he also says those travel and health issues wouldn't be a problem if Khamzat holds the belt. Basically, it's a mix of marketability, reliability, and star appeal, and Luke thinks Khamzat still checks a lot of those boxes despite the concerns. Will we see improved cardio from Borz now that he's training with Coach Sam at Training Lab? Could this new approach help him push the pace deeper into the fight, or will the undefeated Chechen live up to his reputation and finish Dricus early before things even reach the later rounds? On the flip side, could DDP weather the storm, take over in the later rounds, and drown him to continue his title reign? Who do you got, MMA fans? Leave your predictions for UFC 319 below. That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.